Marina Caldwell's hand froze on the doorknob. Through the crack, she watched her 3-year-old son sprint across the polished marble floor, arms outstretched, laughter bubbling from his throat like champagne fizz. The sound pierced her chest. Rowan hadn't walked in his entire life. Not one step. 6 neurologists confirmed it. His legs were supposed to be dead weight, muscles atrophied, nerves silent as tombstones. Yet there he was running. His brothers Finn and Tavi scrambled after him, their bare feet slapping tile, racing toward the figure kneeling in yellow rubber gloves. The janitor caught Rowan mid-flight. The boy buried his face in the man's shoulder, tiny fingers gripping the navy blue uniform like a lifeline. Marina's breath caught. Her sons never touched anyone. Not the nannies, not the therapists, certainly not her. But this man, this stranger she'd hired 3 weeks ago to scrub toilets, held her children like they were made of starlight. And they held them back. The medical charts said they couldn't run. The specialists said they couldn't connect. The world said they were broken. So what was she seeing right now? Have you ever watched the impossible unfold right in front of you, knowing everything you believed was about to shatter? Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. Marina's pulse hammered against her ribs. She stepped into the playroom. 3 small heads whipped toward her. Rowan's smile vanished. Finn retreated behind the janitor's leg. Tavi's eyes went glassy and distant. That vacant stare the doctors called neurological disconnect. Within seconds, her sons transformed back into the silent, frozen boys she knew. The janitor stood slowly, peeling off his gloves with calm precision. His name tag read Cairo. He met her gaze without flinching, without apology, without fear. What are you doing with them? Her voice came out sharp, a blade wrapped in silk. Just giving them attention, ma'am. They don't walk. She pointed at Rowan, who now sat motionless on the floor. He can't walk. Cairo glanced down at the boys. His jaw tightened, but his tone stayed soft. Maybe they just needed someone who sees them. The words landed like a slap. Marina's throat closed. She wanted to scream that she saw them. She fought for them. She bankrupted herself, emotionally trying to reach them. But standing there, watching her son stare at this man with something close to worship, she realized the truth. They didn't look at her that way. They never had. Cairo bent down, ruffled Tavi's hair, and walked toward the supply closet without another word. Marina stayed rooted in place, her designer heels sinking into plush carpet, her mind spinning. Because if her sons could run, the diagnosis was wrong. If the diagnosis was wrong, every expert she trusted had lied. And if they lied about this, what else had they gotten wrong? She pulled out her phone with trembling fingers and opened the security app. Her mansion had cameras in every room. She installed them after the 3rd nanny quit without notice. She scrolled back through the footage, her thumb moving faster, heart climbing into her throat. There, 2 days ago, Cairo mopping the hallway. Finn crawling toward him, then standing, actually standing, holding the wall, yes, but upright, on his own. Marina's knees buckled. She gripped the edge of chair. The timestamp read 11:47 p.m. The night shift, when no one else was around, when he thought no one was watching. What else had he been doing when the cameras were off? The memory slammed into Marina like a freight train. She was back in that sterile hospital room, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, a doctor with tired eyes handing her a folder thick as a Bible. Triplets, rare neurological condition, nonverbal, non-ambulatory, probable cognitive delays. Her husband's face had gone white. He left 6 months later, citing incompatibility with a new reality. The board of directors whispered behind closed doors. Shareholders questioned her focus. Tabloids ran headlines like Caldwell Curse and Broken Dynasty. She fired anyone who showed pity. She demanded results. She flew in specialists from Switzerland, Japan, South Korea. Nothing worked. Until a janitor in yellow gloves knelt on her floor and made her sons laugh. Now she stood in the hallway outside the playroom, phone pressed to her ear, waiting for Dr. Langston to pick up. He was the lead neurologist, the man who diagnosed the boys at 6 months old. His voice crackled through the speaker, smooth and clinical. "Marina, to what do I owe? I need you to re-examine them." Silence. Then a sigh. "We've done 14 evaluations. The results won't change. They're walking." Another pause, longer this time. "That's not possible. I have video. Send it." She hung up and forwarded the footage. Her hand shook as she hit send. 30 seconds later, her phone rang again. Dr. Langston's voice had lost its polish. "Where did you get this?" "My security system." "Who's the man in the frame?" "Does it matter?" "Marina, if someone's been manipulating their limbs to fake motor function, he's not manipulating anything. They're moving on their own. That defies every scan we've taken." "Then the scans are wrong." She heard him breathing through the line, heard the click of a pen, the rustle of papers. "I'll come tomorrow, 9 a.m. Don't let anyone else handle them until I arrive." The call ended. Marina lowered the phone, staring at her reflection in the hallway mirror. She looked like a stranger, exhausted, desperate, angry. But underneath all that, something new flickered. Hope. And hope was the most dangerous thing she'd ever felt. Because hope meant she'd failed them. Hope meant she believed the wrong people. Hope meant the answer had been right in front of her the whole time, wearing yellow gloves and humming while he cleaned. She walked toward the staff quarters, her heels clicking like a countdown. Cairo's room was at the end of the east wing, a small space she barely remembered assigning. She knocked. No answer. She knocked again, harder. The door opened a crack. Cairo stood there in a plain white t-shirt and jeans, no gloves, no uniform. He looked younger without the work clothes. Mid-20s maybe. His eyes were cautious. "Mrs. Caldwell, we need to talk." He stepped aside. The room was spotless. A twin bed with military corners. A desk with a single photo frame. Cairo holding a little girl, maybe 5 years old, her smile wide and gap-toothed. Marina's gaze lingered on the photo. "Your daughter?" "Yes, ma'am. Noria. Where is she now?" "With my mother. I see her on weekends." Marina crossed her arms. "How long have you been working with my sons?" "I clean the playroom every evening. Sometimes they're still awake." "That's not what I asked." Cairo met her eyes. No fear, just steady, quiet resolve. "I talk to them. Sing sometimes. Play little games while I work." "They don't play games. They don't respond. They do with me." The statement hung in the air like a challenge. Marina felt her jaw tighten. "What?" Cairo looked away, toward the photo of his daughter. "Because I don't treat them like they're broken." The words cut deeper than any scalpel. Marina turned and walked out without another word, her chest tight, her mind racing. Behind her, the door clicked shut, and somewhere in the house, one of her sons laughed again. She didn't know which one, but she heard it, clear as a bell, impossible as flight. What had this man unlocked in 3 weeks that an army of experts couldn't touch in 3 years? The staff meeting started at 7 a.m. sharp. Marina sat at the head of the table, 12 employees flanking her on either side. Nannies, therapists, housekeepers, cook, driver, all of them handpicked, all of them expensive, all of them staring at her like she'd lost her mind. "You're saying the triplets walked?" Alda Marin, the lead therapist, folded her hands on the table. Her tone dripped with professional skepticism. "I'm saying I have video evidence. May we see it?" Marina pulled up the footage on the conference room screen. The room went silent. Roan running, Finn standing, Tabi reaching, all of them gravitating toward Cairo like moths to flame. When the clip ended, Alda leaned back in her chair, lips pressed into a thin line. "This is concerning." "Concerning?" He's not trained. He has no certifications, no background in pediatric therapy. He also got results, or he's manipulating them. Alda's voice sharpened. Children with severe neurological conditions can be prompted into reflexive movements that appear voluntary. It's not uncommon for untrained individuals to misinterpret. They laughed. Marina cut her off. "When was the last time you made them laugh?" Alda's face flushed. Around the table, the other staff members shifted uncomfortably. No one met Marina's eyes. She let the silence stretch, let it press down on them like a weight. Finally, one of the younger nannies spoke up. "Ma'am, we've all tried. You know we have." "I do. Marina's voice softened. But I need to understand why he succeeded where everyone else failed. Maybe he's just new. Another nanny, older, with graying hair. Kids respond to novelty sometimes. For 3 weeks straight, no one answered. Marina glanced at Alda, who sat rigid as stone. Dr. Langston is coming today to reevaluate them. Until then, I want full transparency. If anyone sees Cairo interacting with the boys, document it. Time, location, behavior. Everything. You want us to spy on him? Alda's tone was ice. I want to know what's happening in my own house. The meeting ended. Staff filtered out in tight clusters, whispering. Marina stayed in her seat, staring at the frozen image on the screen. Roan's face mid-laugh, eyes bright, arms wide. She'd never seen that expression in real life. Only through a camera. Only when she wasn't there. Her phone buzzed. A text from building security. The subject line read, "Background check, Cairo Benton." She opened it. The report was thin. 26 years old. Previously employed at a mid-size accounting firm in Atlanta. Fired 8 months ago. Reason listed. Whistleblower complaint regarding discriminatory practices. No criminal record. No red flags. But also no formal education past high school. No medical training. No child care certifications. Just a single father trying to make rent. So how do you know what a team of Ivy League specialists didn't? Marina stood and walked to the playroom. It was empty now, toys scattered across the floor like evidence of a crime scene. She knelt where Cairo had knelt in the video. From this angle, she could see the boy's eye level. The world looked different down here. Smaller. Safer. She stayed there for a long time, trying to understand. Trying to see what he saw. Then she heard footsteps. Soft. Deliberate. She turned. Cairo stood in the doorway, gloves on, mop in hand. He looked surprised to see her. "I can come back." "No." Marina stood, brushing off her knees. "Stay." He hesitated, then entered. Started mopping the far corner. Marina watched him work. Slow. Methodical. Every few strokes. He hummed under his breath. A melody she didn't recognize. Halfway through, he paused and looked at her. "Can I ask you something, ma'am?" "Go ahead." "Why do you keep the house so quiet?" The question caught her off guard. "What do you mean?" "No music, no TV, even the staff whispers. It's like everyone's afraid to make noise." Marina opened her mouth, closed it. She'd never thought about it. After the diagnosis, silence became the default. The doctors said overstimulation could worsen the boy's condition, so she controlled the environment. Eliminated variables, created a sterile, soundless bubble. Cairo went back to mopping. "Kids need noise," he said quietly. "They need life around them. Otherwise, they disappear into the quiet." He didn't look at her when he said it, just kept working. But Marina felt the words lodge in her chest like shrapnel. Before she could respond, the doorbell rang. Dr. Langston had arrived early, and when he examined the boys, he was going to ask questions. Questions Marina didn't have answers for. Not yet. She glanced at Cairo one more time. He was kneeling now, wiping baseboards, humming that same strange melody. What was he hiding? And why did she suddenly feel like her entire world depended on finding out? Dr. Langston's hands moved over Roan's legs like he was defusing a bomb. Slow, precise, clinical. The boy sat on the examination table, silent, eyes locked on the wall. No recognition, no response. Marina stood by the window, arms crossed, jaw tight. Beside her, Alda watched with the focus of a hawk. "Reflexes are present," Langston muttered, tapping Roan's knee. "Muscle tone is improved. Significantly." He glanced up at Marina. "This doesn't match his baseline." Meaning something's changed. He moved to Finn next. Same tests. Same careful observations. Finn's legs twitched when Langston pressed certain pressure points. Not much, but enough. Langston frowned. He pulled out a tablet, scrolling through old scans, comparing notes. His frown deepened. "I want to run a full neurological panel. MRI, blood work, physical therapy assessment." When Marina's voice was steady, but her pulse raced. "Today, no." Alda stepped forward. "That's too much stress in one session. Their systems are fragile. Their systems are responding," Langston countered. We need to know why. Alda's lips thinned. I've worked with these boys for 2 years. I know their limits. And yet you didn't notice they could walk. The room went cold. Alda's face flushed red, but she said nothing. Langston turned back to Marina. I'll schedule the test for tomorrow. In the meantime, keep them calm. No changes to routine. Understood. He packed his equipment and left. The moment the door closed, Alda whirled on Marina. You're making a mistake. Excuse me. That man, the janitor, you're letting him interfere. He has no credentials, no oversight. If something goes wrong, then I'll handle it. Will you? Alda's voice rose. Or will you blame us when the board finds out you let untrained staff experiment on your sons? Marina's jaw clenched. Cairo isn't experimenting. He's just what? Playing with them? Singing songs? Alda laughed bitterly. You think that's enough? You think kindness fixes brain damage? Watch your tone. I'm trying to protect those boys. So am I. They stared at each other, the air crackling with tension. Finally, Alda grabbed her bag and walked out, heels clicking like gunshots. Marina exhaled slowly. Her hands trembled. She hated confrontation, hated doubt, but Alda's words burrowed under her skin. What if Cairo was just lucky? What if the boy's response was temporary? What if Marina was so desperate for a miracle that she'd convinced herself of something that wasn't real? She walked to the staff quarters. Cairo's door was ajar. Inside, she could hear voices. She stopped outside, listening. Daddy, when can I come see you? A child's voice. Noria. Cairo must have been on a video call. Soon, baby. I promise. Mama says you're working for a rich lady now. Yeah, she's got 3 boys who need help. Are they nice? They're perfect. Marina's throat tightened. She shouldn't be listening, but she couldn't move. Daddy, do they talk? A pause. Not yet, but they will. How do you know? Because I see them. Really see them. And when you see someone, they start to believe they're worth seeing. Silence. Then Noria's small voice again. Like you see me? Exactly like that. Marina backed away from the door, her chest aching. She walked to the playroom, where the boys were napping under the watchful eyes of a rotating nanny. She sat on the floor beside Tavi's mat. His breathing was soft, steady. She reached out and brushed a curl from his forehead. He didn't stir. She'd touched him 1,000 times, fed him, bathed him, held him through seizures and sleepless nights. But had she ever seen him the way Cairo described? Or had she only seen the diagnosis, the limitations, the tragedy? Her phone buzzed. A text from her assistant. Board meeting moved to Friday. They want an update on your situation. Marina deleted the text. She didn't owe them anything. Not explanations. Not apologies. Not her sons. But she did owe someone the truth. She just didn't know who yet. That night, Marina couldn't sleep. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the house settle. Around midnight, she heard something. Faint, rhythmic. She got up and followed the sound. It led her to the playroom. The door was cracked open. Soft light spilled into the hallway. Inside, Cairo sat cross-legged on the floor. Roan, Finn, and Tavi were arranged in a semicircle around him. He was massaging Roan's legs. Slow, deliberate movements. His lips moved, whispering something Marina couldn't hear. She leaned closer. You are strong. You are brave. Your legs remember. He repeated it like a mantra, his hands never stopping. Roan's eyes were half closed, his body relaxed in a way Marina had never seen. Cairo moved to Finn next. Same technique, same whispered words. Then Tavi. When he finished, he stayed on the floor just sitting with them, watching, waiting. And then, impossible, Tavi reached out. His small hand found Cairo's and squeezed. Marina's breath caught. She stumbled backward, her shoulder hitting the doorframe. Cairo's head snapped up. Their eyes met. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Marina whispered, "What are you doing to them?" Cairo didn't flinch, didn't scramble for an excuse. He just sat there, Tavi's hand still wrapped around his finger, and said, helping them remember. Remember what? That they're not broken. Marina stepped into the room. The boys didn't react to her presence. They stayed focused on Cairo like he was the only solid thing in a shifting world. They have a neurological condition, Marina said. Doctors confirmed it. Doctors confirmed what they saw on a scan. But scans don't show everything. They show brain function, nerve damage. They show a moment in time. Cairo's voice stayed calm. What if that moment was wrong? Marina's hands curled into fists. You think 6 specialists got wrong? I think they saw what they expected to see. And you see what? Magic. I see 3 boys who've been told they can't do something their whole lives. So they stopped trying. He looked down at Tavi, whose eyes were starting to droop. My daughter had asthma. Bad. Doctors said she'd need an inhaler forever. Maybe oxygen support. I couldn't afford the treatments they recommended. So I found other ways. Breathing exercises, music therapy, play that built her lung strength without her knowing it was therapy. That's not the same. Isn't it? Cairo met her gaze. Your sons aren't paralyzed. They're scared. And when you're scared long enough, your body shuts down. Not because it can't work, because it doesn't feel safe to try. Marina wanted to argue, wanted to pull out charts and reports and medical degrees. But she couldn't, because standing there, watching Tavi cling to Cairo's hand, she saw the truth. Her sons didn't feel safe with her. They felt managed, monitored, measured, controlled. They felt like patients, not children. Cairo stood slowly, careful not to wake them. I'm not trying to undermine you, ma'am. We're your doctors. I just know what worked for my daughter, and I thought maybe it could work for them. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me? No, she wouldn't have. She would have fired him on the spot. Marina looked at the boys, now asleep in a pile on the floor, limbs tangled together like puppies. They looked peaceful, whole, human. She'd spent 3 years trying to fix them, and in 3 weeks, Cairo had shown them they didn't need fixing. Her throat burned. Teach me. Cairo blinked. Ma'am, teach me what you do. The massage, the words, all of it. He hesitated. It's not a technique. It's just being present. Then teach me how to be present. For the first time, Cairo smiled. Small, tired, real. Okay. They spent the next hour on the floor. Cairo showed her how to position her hands, where to apply pressure, how to match her breathing to theirs, how to whisper affirmations without expectation. Marina's hands shook at first. She was used to control, precision, results. This was none of that. This was faith, and faith terrified her. Halfway through, Finn stirred. His eyes opened. He looked at Marina, really looked, not through her, at her. She froze. Hey, buddy, she whispered. Finn's hand moved. Slow, uncertain. It reached toward her face. Marina held her breath. His tiny palm pressed against her cheek. Warm, real. She bit back a sob. Cairo's voice was soft beside her. He sees you now. Marina closed her eyes, tears slipping free. She'd fought so hard, spent so much, demanded so much, and all her sons needed was this. Someone who didn't see them as a problem to solve, just as people to love. When she opened her eyes again, Finn was smiling. A real, sleepy, lopsided smile. She smiled back. Outside, thunder rumbled. Rain began to patter against the windows. The house, usually so silent, filled with the sound of the storm. And for the first time in 3 years, Marina didn't try to control it. She just sat on the floor with her sons and the man in yellow gloves, listening to the world come alive around them. But in the hallway, a shadow moved. Alda stood just out of sight, phone in hand, recording everything. Her jaw was set, her eyes cold, and when she turned and walked away, her heels made no sound at all. What was she planning? And would Marina realize the danger before it was too late? The whispers started in the kitchen. Marina walked past the staff dining area at dawn and heard her name wrapped in venom. She stopped just outside the door, hidden by shadow. She's losing it. That was Glinda, the head housekeeper, letting that janitor run wild with those boys. He's not even certified. Another voice. Younger. One of the nannies Marina couldn't name. What if something happens? We're all liable. You think she cares? Glinda again. She's desperate. Desperate people do stupid things. Marina's nails dug into her palms. She should have walked in, fired them all on the spot. But something kept her frozen, because underneath the anger, she heard the truth. She was desperate, and desperation made her blind. She turned and walked toward the playroom instead. Inside, Cairo knelt beside Finn, guiding the boy's hands through a stacking game. Roan sat nearby, trying to mimic the movement. Tavi watched from his mat, eyes tracking every motion. It looked so simple, so natural, but Marina knew what the staff saw. A janitor overstepping, a billionaire unraveling, a disaster waiting to ignite. Mrs. Caldwell. Alda's voice cut through the moment like a scalpel. Marina turned. The therapist stood in the doorway, tablet in hand, expression carved from ice. We need to discuss the boys' treatment plan. Now, immediately. Marina glanced at Cairo. He didn't look up, just kept working with Finn. She followed Alda into the hallway. The moment they were alone, Alda pulled up a video on her tablet. Marina's stomach dropped. It was footage from last night. Her and Cairo on the floor. The boys responding. Alda's finger jabbed the screen. This is inappropriate. That's therapy. That's untrained interference. He's not licensed. He has no oversight, and you're encouraging it. He's getting results. Results? Alda's voice rose. You don't know what he's doing to them. For all we know, he could be causing harm that won't show up for months. Marina's jaw tightened. He's helping them walk, or he's stimulating reflexes that mimic voluntary movement. There's a difference. Then why didn't you see it first? The question hung between them like a grenade. Alda's face flushed deep red. Her fingers whitened around the tablet. When she spoke again, her tone was poison. I've dedicated 2 years to those boys. I've followed every protocol, done everything by the book, and now you're ready to throw it all away because some janitor smiled at them? He did more than smile. He manipulated you. Alda stepped closer, voice dropping to a hiss. You're a single mother under board scrutiny. Your reputation is already damaged. If word gets out that you're letting unqualified staff treat your disabled sons, you'll lose everything. The company, your credibility, maybe even custody. Marina's blood went cold. Are you threatening me? I'm warning you. Alda's eyes were hard as diamonds. Make a choice. Him or your son's future. She walked away before Marina could respond. Marina stood alone in the hallway, heart hammering, mind racing. Alda was right about one thing. The board was watching. One mistake, and they'd use it as ammunition. Her ex-husband was already circling, looking for leverage. If she lost control of the narrative, she'd lose everything. But when she looked back into the playroom, she saw Roan standing. Actually standing. Holding Cairo's hand for balance, but upright. On his own. No machines. No specialists. Just trust. Could she really walk away from that? Later that afternoon, Marina sat in her office reviewing contracts when her assistant knocked. Ma'am, there's someone here to see you. Says it's urgent. Ooh, a reporter. Janessa Thorne, from the Herald. Marina's stomach dropped. She dodged the press for months. I'm not taking interviews. She says she has information about your son's condition. And your staff. Marina's pulse spiked. She stood. Sent her in. Janessa Thorne walked in like she owned the room. Mid-30s, sharp suit, sharper eyes. She didn't wait for an invitation to sit. Just pulled out a recorder and placed it on the desk. Mrs. Caldwell, thank you for seeing me. What do you want? I've been hearing interesting things about your household. Specifically about a janitor who's apparently performing miracles. Marina's face went blank. I don't know what you're talking about. Really? Janessa smiled. Because I have sources saying your triplets, diagnosed as nonverbal and paralyzed, are suddenly walking and responding. And the only change in their environment is a man named Cairo Benton, former whistleblower, no medical training, currently employed as your janitor. My son's health is private. Your son's health is a public interest story. Billionaire heiress, tragic diagnosis, controversial treatment. It's got everything. Marina leaned forward. You print one word about my children, and I'll bury you. Janessa didn't flinch. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to offer you a chance. Tell your side before someone else tells theirs. Someone like who? Someone who's already reached out to me with concerns about unsafe practices in your home. Alda. Marina's jaw clenched. The therapist had gone to the press. This wasn't a warning anymore. It was war. Janessa stood, leaving her card on the desk. You've got 24 hours. After that, I run the story with or without you. She left. Marina sat alone, staring at the card. Her phone buzzed. A text from Cairo. Roan just said his first word. Her hands shook as she typed back. What did he say? The response came instantly, Mama. Marina's vision blurred. Tears streaked down her face before she could stop them. Her son had called for her. After 3 years of silence. After every specialist said it was impossible. He'd called for her. But now the world was closing in. The press, the board, the staff, all of them circling like vultures. And Marina had to decide. Protect her reputation or protect the man who'd given her sons their voices back. Which mattered more? And what would it cost her to choose wrong? Marina found Cairo in the garden at dusk. He sat on a stone bench, phone pressed to his ear, voice low and tired. I know, Mama. I'll send the money Friday. Just keep her inhaler close. Okay. He paused. Yeah, I miss her too. He hung up and saw Marina standing there. He didn't look surprised, just resigned. You heard about the reporter? Yes. Cairo nodded slowly. He stared at the ground, jaw tight. I should have known this would happen. What do you mean? People like me don't get to do good things quietly. There's always someone waiting to twist it. Marina sat beside him. The bench was cold, the evening air sharp. Around them, the gardens stretched out in perfect rows, every hedge trimmed, every flower measured. Controlled, just like her life used to be. Tell me about your daughter. Cairo looked up surprised. Why? Because I need to understand who you are. Really are. He hesitated, then pulled out his phone. Showed her a photo. A little girl with braids and bright eyes, holding a homemade birthday sign. Noria was written in crayon. She's 6 now. Smart as hell. Loves dinosaurs and anything purple. His voice softened. Her mama died when she was 2. Aneurysm. No warning. One day we were a family. Next day I was alone with a toddler and medical bills I couldn't pay. Marina's chest tightened. I'm sorry. Me too. Cairo put the phone away. I worked at a firm. Good pay. Benefits. Then I found out they were doctoring invoices to overcharge black-owned businesses. I reported it. Got fired 2 weeks later for performance issues. He laughed bitterly. Couldn't get hired anywhere after that. Word spreads, so I took whatever work I could find. Cleaning, landscaping, anything to keep Noria fed. And the therapy techniques? Desperation. He met her eyes. Noria's asthma got bad after her mama died. Stress-induced, the doctors said. But we couldn't afford the treatments they recommended. So I researched, found studies on music therapy, breathing exercises, play-based interventions. Things I could do at home. It worked, not overnight, but over time, she got stronger. So you used the same approach with my sons. I used what I knew, and I prayed it would help. Marina looked at him, really looked, at the exhaustion carved into his face. The calloused hands, the quiet strength that didn't demand recognition. He wasn't a saint. He was just a father who refused to give up. Like her, the reporter's going to run the story, Marina said. Alda gave her ammunition. If we don't control the narrative, they'll make you look like a fraud. Or worse. And if we do control it, they'll still tear me apart. That's how this works. Not if I stand with you. Cairo shook his head. You can't. You've got too much to lose. So do you. I've already lost everything that matters. My wife, my career, my reputation. His voice cracked. All I have left is Noria. And if I lose this job, I lose her too. My mom is sick. She can't keep her much longer. Marina's throat burned. She wanted to promise him protection, security, a future, but she couldn't. Not when her own was crumbling. They sat in silence as the sky darkened. Finally, Marina stood. Come with me. She led him back to the house, through the quiet halls, past staff who whispered and stared. She didn't care anymore. Let them watch. Let them judge. She was done performing for people who'd never fought for anything real. They reached the playroom. The boys were asleep, curled together on the mat like a single organism. Marina knelt beside them. Cairo knelt beside her. I need you to teach me everything, Marina whispered. Every word, every movement, every moment of patience. Because if the world takes you away, I need to be able to continue what you started. Cairo's eyes glistened. You think I'm going somewhere? I think powerful people destroy what they don't understand. And I need to be ready. He nodded. For the next hour, they worked in silence. He showed her pressure points that calmed anxiety, songs that regulated breathing, games that built motor skills without feeling like work. Marina absorbed it all, memorizing every detail like her life depended on it. Because it did. Halfway through, Tavi woke up. He looked at Marina, then at Cairo. His small hand reached out and grabbed both of theirs. He pulled them together, holding them like a bridge. "Family," he whispered. Marina's heart stopped. It was his first word, and he'd used it to connect them. Cairo's breath hitched. He looked at Marina, and for the first time, she saw tears in his eyes. "He knows," Cairo said. "He knows what matters." Marina nodded, unable to speak, because Tavi was right. Somewhere in his young, brilliant mind, he understood what the adults around him kept forgetting. Family wasn't blood. It wasn't money. It wasn't titles or degrees. It was who showed up, who stayed, who knelt in the quiet and whispered, "You are enough." Outside, thunder rumbled. A storm was coming, and Marina knew that when it hit, everything would change. The reporter would publish. The board would react. Alda would push her agenda, and Marina would have to choose. Protect her empire or protect her heart. But looking at her sons now, watching them sleep with Cairo's hand still holding theirs, she realized the choice was already made. She just had to be brave enough to follow through. The door creaked. Marina turned. Alda stood in the hallway, phone in hand, camera pointed directly at them. Her smile was cold. "The board's going to love this." She walked away, heels clicking like a countdown. Marina's blood turned to ice, because she'd just been caught, and the proof was already on its way to people who wanted her gone. How much time did she have before everything exploded? And could she save Cairo before the fallout buried them both? The email hit Marina's inbox at 6 a.m. Subject line, "Emergency board meeting today." She didn't need to open it to know what it said. Alda had moved fast. Marina dressed in armor, black suit, diamond studs, hair pulled back so tight it hurt. She looked like the CEO they expected. Cold, controlled, untouchable, but her hands shook as she fastened her watch. The meeting started at 9. 15 board members sat around the table, faces carved from stone. Her ex-husband, Donovan, sat at the far end. He'd wormed his way onto the board after the divorce, claiming he needed to protect his son's financial interests. Really, he just wanted leverage. Alda sat beside the company's legal counsel. She didn't smile, didn't need to. She'd already won. The board chair, a silver-haired man named Preston, opened the meeting. "Marina, thank you for joining us on short notice. Of course, we've received some concerning information regarding your household staff and your son's care." "From who?" Preston glanced at Alda. A trusted employee raised legitimate safety concerns. Marina's jaw tightened. "Alda filed a complaint because I questioned her methods." "She filed a complaint because you allowed an unqualified individual to perform medical interventions on medically fragile children." Preston's tone sharpened. "Is that accurate?" "He didn't perform medical interventions. He played with them, and they responded in ways that contradicted their diagnosis." "Yes, which raises questions about the accuracy of that diagnosis, or the appropriateness of his involvement." Marina leaned forward. "My sons are walking, talking, engaging, for the first time in their lives, and you're questioning that." "We're questioning your judgment." Donovan's voice cut through the room. "You've been under enormous stress. Board members have expressed concerns about your capacity to lead both this company and your household." "Capacity?" Marina's voice went cold. "I've increased this company's revenue by 30% since taking over. Our patents are in every major hospital in the country. My capacity isn't in question. My choices are." "Your choices affect shareholder confidence," Preston said. "And right now, shareholders are nervous." "Because of what?" "A janitor who cares about my sons." "Because of optics." Preston folded his hands. "A single mother, disabled children, controversial home treatment. If the press runs with this." "The press already has it." Marina pulled out her phone and showed them Janessa Thorne's article. Published an hour ago. The headline read, "Billionaire's Miracle or Medical Malpractice. inside Marina Caldwell's controversial treatment of paralyzed triplets. The room went silent. Preston grabbed the phone, scrolling fast. His face paled. "This is a disaster. This is the truth," Marina said. "My sons were misdiagnosed. Cairo Benin helped me see that. And now you want to punish him, and me, for succeeding where your approved specialist failed. That's not what this is about," Aldous said smoothly. "This is about protecting the children. You don't care about my children." Marina stood, her voice trembling with rage. "You care about control, about keeping me in a box where I'm acceptable, tragic but dignified, struggling but silent. Well, I'm done being silent." "Marina," Preston began. "I'm done." She grabbed her bag. "You want my resignation? Fine. Draft the paperwork. But Cairo stays. He's done more for my sons in 3 weeks than your entire network of specialists did in 3 years. And if you come after him, I'll make sure every reporter in the country knows exactly how this board operates." She walked out. The door slammed behind her. Her heart pounded so hard she thought it might crack her ribs. She just threatened the board, threatened her ex-husband, threatened her entire future. And she didn't care. She drove home too fast, tires screeching around corners. When she burst through the front door, she found Cairo in the foyer, duffel bag in hand. "What are you doing?" "Leaving." His voice was flat. "I just had a call. Building security said I'm trespassed effective immediately." "No, Marina, no." She stepped in front of him. "I just walked out of a board meeting. I'm not letting you walk out of here. You can't fight this. Watch me. You'll lose everything. I already have." Her voice cracked. "My marriage, my privacy, my peace. The only thing I haven't lost is my sons. And you gave them back to me. So if the world wants to take you away, it'll have to go through me first." Cairo stared at her. For a long moment, neither moved. Then from upstairs a sound. A small voice, clear as a bell. "Mama." Marina's breath caught. She turned and ran. Up the stairs, down the hall, into the playroom. Roan stood in the center of the room. No support, no assistance, just standing. His brothers beside him, all 3 of them upright, staring at her with wide, bright eyes. Waiting. "Mama," Roan said again. "Stay." Marina dropped to her knees. The boys ran to her. Actually ran. They crashed into her arms, a tangle of limbs and laughter. She held them, sobbing, her whole body shaking. Cairo appeared in the doorway. The boys saw him and reached out. Kai. He joined them on the floor. The 5 of them huddled together, a knot of humanity in the center of a cold, perfect house. And for the first time in years, Marina fell whole. Outside, the world was collapsing. The board was circling. The press was feasting. Her empire was crumbling. But here, in this moment, none of it mattered, because her sons had called for her, and they'd asked her to stay. How could she do anything else? But then her phone rang. The screen lit up with a single name, Dr. Langston. Marina answered, heart in her throat. "Marina, I just got the test results." His voice was strange. "Tight. We need to talk. Now." What had the test revealed? And would it save them or destroy everything they'd fought for? Dr. Langston's office smelled like antiseptic and old coffee. Marina sat across from him, Cairo beside her. She'd insisted he come. If this was about the boys, he deserved to hear it. Langston scanned images across his desk. Brain scans, spinal scans, nerve charts. He pointed to spots Marina didn't understand. "When I diagnosed the triplets 3 years ago, these scans showed significant abnormalities. Reduced neural activity, nerve damage, clear indicators of a degenerative condition. And now," Marina's voice was barely a whisper, "now they're almost completely normal." The room tilted. Marina gripped the chair. "What?" "The neural pathways have restructured. Nerve function has improved. Motor control is developing at an accelerated rate." He looked up, eyes sharp. "This doesn't happen. Not with the condition I diagnosed." "So you were wrong." Langston flinched. The condition was triggered by environmental factors that have since been removed." "Environmental factors," Cairo said quietly. "Like stress." Langston turned to him. "Who are you?" "The janitor." The doctor's face hardened. "You're the one. I'm the one who played with them," Cairo interrupted, saying to them, "Treated them like kids instead of case studies. You have no medical training." "No, but I have a daughter who was diagnosed with chronic asthma. Doctors said she'd need interventions for life. I couldn't afford it, so I found other ways. Breathing techniques, music, play therapy, things that felt safe instead of clinical. Her lungs got stronger. Her attacks stopped, not because the medicine was wrong, because she needed to feel safe enough to heal." Langston stared at him, then at the scans, then back at Cairo. Finally, he exhaled. "You're suggesting the triplets' condition was psychosomatic. I'm suggesting they were scared. And fear shuts the body down. That's an oversimplification. Is it?" Marina leaned forward. "You saw these scans 3 years ago. You told me my sons would never walk, never talk, never connect. But the moment someone treated them like they were whole, they became whole. So either your diagnosis was wrong, or was something you didn't account for made them sick." Langston's jaw worked. He looked older suddenly, tired. "There's a term for what you're describing. Conversion disorder. Psychological distress manifesting as physical symptoms. But it's rare, especially in infants. Rare doesn't mean impossible." "No." He gathered the scans. "It doesn't. So what now?" Marina asked. "Now I recommend continued observation. Physical therapy, speech therapy, standard developmental support." But he paused. "But you don't need a neurologist anymore. Your sons are healing, and I can't take credit for that." Marina stood. "Thank you for being honest." "Wait." Langston stopped her. "I'm going to publish a paper on this. It's too significant not to, but I'll keep your names out of it. And I'll make it clear that unconventional interventions played a role." "Unconventional," Cairo muttered. "Effective," Langston corrected. "Sometimes that's the same thing." They left the office in silence. Marina's hand shook as she unlocked her car. Cairo climbed in beside her. Neither spoke for a long time. Finally, Marina broke. "I almost gave up on them." "No, you didn't." "I did. I believe the scans, the specialists. I stopped seeing them as my sons and started seeing them as problems I couldn't solve. You were doing your best. My best wasn't enough." "It was," Cairo said firmly. "You hired me, didn't you? You could have fired me the first time you saw me playing with them. But you didn't. You watched. You asked questions. You learned. That takes courage." Marina wiped her eyes. "The board's going to force me out. Maybe. Alda's going to file complaints with every agency she can find. Probably. The press is going to tear us apart. Definitely." Marina laughed through her tears. "So what do we do?" Cairo looked at her. "We build something better." That evening, Marina sat in her office drafting a plan. Not a defense, not an apology, a vision. She called it the Caldwell Foundation for Misdiagnosed Children, a nonprofit dedicated to funding unconventional therapies, training caregivers in trauma-informed care, and supporting families navigating medical uncertainty. She didn't have board approval, didn't have funding, didn't have anything except a laptop and a belief that her son's story mattered. She was halfway through the draft when her assistant knocked. "Ma'am, there's someone here. I'm not taking visitors." "It's the reporter, Janessa Thorne. She says you want to hear what she found." Marina tensed, but she nodded. Janessa walked in, laptop under her arm. She didn't sit, just opened the computer and turned it toward Marina. "I did some digging after we talked. Found something interesting about your therapist." The screen showed a complaint filed against Alda Marin 5 years ago. A family claimed she'd prioritized billable hours over patient outcomes, prolonging treatment to maximize profit. The complaint was dismissed due to lack of evidence. But there were others. 3 more families. Similar stories. All dismissed. All buried. "She's got a pattern," Janessa said. "Targets wealthy families with complex cases. Keeps them dependent. Keeps the checks coming." Marina's blood turned cold. "Why are you showing me this?" "Because I thought you deserved the truth. And because I think your story's bigger than a scandal." Janessa closed the laptop. "I want to do a follow-up. Not about mistakes. About what happened after. How your son's healed. How you're building something from it. That's the story people need." Marina stared at her. "Why?" "Because I'm tired of writing hit pieces. And because my little brother has cerebral palsy. If what you're doing works, other families need to know. Marina's throat tightened. She nodded. Okay, do the story. But you interview Cairo too. This isn't just my story. It's his. Janessa smiled. Deal. 2 days later, the article dropped. The headline read, How a Janitor and a Billionaire Rewrote the Rules on Healing. It went viral. Emails poured in. Families sharing their own stories. Doctors requesting information. Donors offering funding. Within a week, Marina had enough support to launch the foundation. She offered Cairo the position of director. He refused at first, said he wasn't qualified. Marina looked him in the eye and said, Neither was I, but we're learning together. He accepted. That night, Marina gathered the boys in the living room. She sat on the floor, Cairo beside her. The triplets piled into their laps, giggling and squirming. For the first time in years, the house felt loud, alive, whole. You know what we did? Marina whispered to Roan. What? We changed the rules. Roan didn't understand, but he smiled anyway, and that was enough. But the next morning, Marina's lawyer called with news that made her heart stop. Alda had filed a lawsuit, claiming negligence, malpractice, fraud. She was demanding damages and custody evaluation of the boys. The fight wasn't over. It was just beginning, and Marina had to decide how far she was willing to go to protect the family she'd built. The courtroom was cold. Marina sat at the defendant's table, her lawyer on one side, Cairo on the other. Across the aisle, Alda sat straight-backed and calm. Her lawyer was expensive, polished, the kind who smiled while destroying you. The judge entered. Everyone stood. Marina's heart hammered so hard she thought everyone could hear it. This wasn't just about money. It was about her sons, about whether she'd be deemed fit to keep them. The hearing lasted 4 hours. Alda's lawyer painted Marina as reckless, desperate, manipulated by an unqualified charlatan. He showed the video of Marina and Cairo on the floor with the boys, called it dangerous, irresponsible. He brought up Marina's board resignation, her public conflict, her emotional state. This is a woman in crisis, he said, and children in crisis need stability, not experimentation. Marina's lawyer countered with Dr. Langston's testimony. The neurologist explained the scans, the diagnosis, the miraculous improvement. He called Cairo's methods unorthodox but effective. So the boys were thriving in ways medical science couldn't explain. Then Cairo took the stand. He was nervous. His hand shook, but his voice was steady. He told his story, his daughter, his desperation, his belief that healing required more than medicine. It required love. Alda's lawyer tore into him. You have no credentials. No, sir. No medical training. No, sir. Yet you claim to have healed these children. I didn't heal them. I just gave them space to heal themselves. That's not how medicine works. Maybe it should be. The courtroom murmured. The judge banged his gavel. Finally, Marina took the stand. Her lawyer asked her one question. Why did you trust Cairo Benton? Marina looked at her sons, sitting in the gallery with a court-appointed guardian. They watched her with wide eyes, waiting. She took a breath, because he saw them, not as a diagnosis, not as a tragedy, not as a reflection of my failure. He saw 3 boys who needed someone to believe they were enough. And he gave them that, every day, without asking for anything in return. That's not negligence. That's love. And if loving my children the way they needed to be loved makes me unfit, then I don't want to be fit. I want to be theirs. Her voice cracked on the last word. The courtroom went silent. The judge called a recess. Marina sat in the hallway, Cairo beside her. Neither spoke. Finally, the bailiff called them back. The judge looked tired. I've reviewed the evidence, the testimony, the medical records. He paused. Ms. Marin, your concerns about protocol are valid. But protocol isn't the same as care. The boys are healthier now than they were under your supervision. That's undeniable. He turned to Marina. Mrs. Caldwell, your methods were unconventional, but the results speak for themselves. Lawsuit dismissed. Custody remains with the mother. Marina's knees buckled. Cairo caught her. Alda stood, face red, and stormed out. Her lawyer followed, already on his phone. Marina didn't care. She ran to her sons. They crashed into her, laughing, grabbing. She held them so tight she thought they might break. But they didn't. They just held her back. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed. Cameras flashed. Questions flew like bullets. Marina stepped to the microphone, Cairo beside her. Today, the court recognized what I've known for months. Healing doesn't fit in a box. It doesn't follow a script. It happens when we stop trying to fix people and start seeing them. She looked at Cairo. This man gave my sons their lives back. Not because he had a degree, because he had a heart, and that matters more. The questions continued, but Marina walked away. She had nothing left to prove. 6 months later, the Caldwell Foundation opened its doors. The building was bright, full of windows, full of noise. Kids ran through hallways. Parents sat in support groups. Therapists worked alongside musicians, artists, massage therapists. Cairo ran the child development wing. Noria came to visit every weekend, playing with the triplets like they were her brothers. Marina stepped back from the company. Let the board scramble. She didn't need them anymore. She had something better. One afternoon, Marina found Cairo in the garden behind the foundation. He was kneeling in the dirt, planting flowers with a group of kids. Her sons were there, digging with plastic shovels, dirt smeared on their faces. They looked happy, whole, human. You did this, Marina said. Cairo looked up. We did this. No, you started it. I just followed. He smiled. Then we make a good team. Marina sat beside him. The sun was warm. The air smelled like soil and new growth. Around them, children laughed, played, healed, and Marina realized something. She'd spent her whole life building empires, chasing legacy, proving worth. But this, right here, was the only thing that mattered. Not power, not money, not control, just people, seeing each other, choosing each other, staying. Mama, Rowan tugged her sleeve. Watch. He ran, full sprint, no hesitation. His brothers chased him. Cairo's daughter joined in. They circled the garden, wild and free and loud. Marina watched, tears streaming down her face. Cairo's hand found hers. She squeezed back, and in that moment, surrounded by noise and dirt and laughter, Marina Caldwell, billionaire, single mother, fighter, finally understood what it meant to be wealthy. It wasn't what you owned. It was who you loved, and who loved you back. If this story touched you, imagine what the next one will reveal. These are the stories that remind us what really matters. That compassion is stronger than credentials. That seeing someone is the first step to healing them. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another story that inspires. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us about a time someone saw you when you felt invisible. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Together, we build a community that believes in second chances, in quiet heroes, in the power of simply showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for believing that love, in the end, is the only miracle that matters.